basically it gives you the characters, and this is the hobbits and the black riders, the black riders being here in the background. Greetings everyone, welcome to the next in our ongoing PHQ stamp cards from the Royal Mail. We're going to be talking about the Lord of the Rings set. Now, ever since I was quite young, I have been a massive Lord of the Rings fan. I read the books when I was at school, had Lord of the Rings in a single volume, and I wore it out from multiple readings and it fell apart. So I now have the 3 books in a modern style in 3 separate books. I couldn't wait for the films to come out. Fellowship of the Rings, Two Towers, Return of the King. These are the visual guides that came out with all the pictures of the stars and everything, and I loved the films. Absolutely, I think they deserved their Oscar win for the Return of the King, and I, like many people, believe that it was a Oscar win for the 3 films as a package. Between you and me, Two Towers is my favourite, but superb, and I have always picked up anything to do with the Lord of the Rings. The set of stamps and cards, as you can see, this is the first card and it has the same image on it as on the front of the visual guide for the Fellowship of the Ring. Oh. But we'll talk about those in a minute. So I am a huge fan, and as I say, I'll buy anything, and it was a bit of a coincidence that this set of cards came out on the 20th of March of this year, 2026, and almost at the same time, give or take a bit, one of my friends, who is also a massive Lord of the Rings fan, he published his book, A Light from the Shadows, The Spiritual Heart of J.R.R. Tolkien by Father Michael Helsall. Now, here we go, we have a signed copy from Michael. So I will pick up anything that is related to the Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien. If you're really interested in this little book, which is quite a nice little read, it's you can find it on Amazon. Joe might even give you a link, I don't know. But anyway, the cards. I'm going to do a magic trick now, let's see. Almost looks as if I know what I'm doing. We're moving down. This is the first card in the series. Not the first set of J.R.R. Tolkien related stamps that Royal Mail have issued. In 2004, they issued a 10 stamp set showing the artwork that was used in the original Lord of the Rings book. 10 stamps, and obviously there were 10 cards for that as well, which you can see here. These are a superb set, and obviously they are literature themed because obviously they're from the books, and although they were released after the films came out, these stamp sets issued in, as I say, 2004. They make a nice connection to this set here for the films. But Royal Mail aren't the only people to have issued related stamp cards. The Isle of Man, they issued a very, very nice set. These were actually postal stationery cards, i.e. they had a stamp printed on the reverse side. There was a set of 8, and there was also, although it didn't appear on a card, there was a £2 stamp sheet which showed the ring. I'll show you the reverse side of a couple of these. This is the Aragorn one, And this one is the Gollum one, as you can see how the stamp appears printed in the top right corner. These are lovely, and you can find them on eBay easily enough, and they go really, really well with this set. Now we have a number of people depicted on this. PHQ card set 560 in the ongoing numbering, cards 1 to 13, and they are numbered 1 to 13 in the order that I'm going to show them to you. And as you can see, the standard back with the addition of the New Line Cinema logo for the films. And basically it gives you the characters, and this is the Hobbits and the Black Riders, the Black Riders being here in the background. On his first one, you've obviously got Samwise Gamgee, you've got Frodo Baggins, Peregrine Took, and Meriadoc Brandybuck. This is obviously Pippin and Merry, as they are pretty much called. But this is a beautiful set of cards. I really, really like it. That's number one. As I say, the numbers are numerical in the order that I'm showing them to you. Here you have Gandalf the Grey in this particular image. It doesn't become Gandalf the White until later, and this is the Balrog. And obviously, we're going to go through the cast members. You have Sean Austin, Elijah Wood, Billy Boyd, and Dominic Monaghan. And of course, Gandalf was played by Ian McKellen. Not a big character in the books, but certainly in the film is Arwen. Here played by Liv Tyler, and here you have the Black Riders again in the background. Gimli the Dwarf, played by John Rhys Davies. That's a nice one. Saruman, as played by Christopher Lee, or the late Christopher Lee now, sadly. Over here you have Treebeard and Merry and Pippin. Aragorn, as played by Viggo Mortensen. And here you've got Elwin, Miranda Otto, from the battle scene outside Minas Tirith, if I remember correctly. Legolas, played by Orlando Bloom, and here's Gandalf on his horse, leading the last little charge here. They are very, very nice, I have to say. Frodo Baggins, as we've already said, played by Elijah Wood. Over here you have Gollum, who was played by Andy Serkis, who did it by motion capture. Now, they are the single cards, sheet formatted. They are the cards that depict that. All the individual ones. And then there was a miniature sheet. And the miniature sheet was made up of 4 cards, 4 stamps. 4 cards show individually the 4 stamps. And then you have a last card that shows the entire sheet. So this is the Shire. Here you have Rivendell. That's a nice one, actually. I do like that one. There you have the Argonath. Here are the Fellowship of the Ring here in their boats sailing through. Mount Doom. And then lastly, the card that shows the entire miniature stamp sheet with the map here. The map of Middle Earth. Now I have to say, personally, I think this is a superb set, but then I am always going to be biased. The films themselves, Fellowship came out in 2001, Two Tales 2002, and Return of the King came out in 2003. I think these are some of the nicest stamps. Now the problem with these long stamps is they sometimes take up a little less space on the card, but with these Lord of the Ring ones, for the miniature sheet, you can see what I mean. There's quite a lot of border. The actual stamps, the 8 stamps, are slightly smaller, slightly shorter, so they actually appear quite well. And I must admit, I think they've come out quite nicely shape wise. I think they could have found possibly a better one of Aragorn, but we will forgive them that, because they included Christopher Lee, and Christopher Lee was one of my favourite actors. Yes, this is quite a well-known and well-used image of Arwen from the film. And there's Gandalf the Grey, very battered, obviously, in the mines of Mora, where he encounters the creature, the Balrog. Over here, this is Helm's Deep. Helm's Deep is from the Two Towers. Balrog encounter is from the Fellowship of the Ring. This is all from the Fellowship of the Ring, which is why this one appears on the front of the visual guide. There we go. I think these PHQ cards are really good value. These 13 cards, £5.85. Now obviously, if you don't have an account and a standing order like I do, you will have to pay postage on top of that, but that's part of ordering anything. But if you can find them in a Royal Mail shop, a post office somewhere that does actually sell these items, then £5.85, and I think that for what you get in here is superb. You try and find 13 postcards of Lord of the Rings and only pay £5.85 for them. I think Royal Mail do these really, really well, and it always amazes me they're not as popular. I think this set though, this set is going to be popular. I think it's very, 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 very good. Keep an eye out for them. These sometimes appear at postcard fairs as well, on dealers' stock and other bits and pieces. I think they're very, very good. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this series of PHQ vlogs, or any of our other vlogs on postcard fairs, old postcards, new postcards, etc., then do hit that bell icon. That means you get notified of when new vlogs come along. It is free to do this. It doesn't cost anything. If you're anything like me, you know nothing about IT and how bits and pieces work, and you're always worried about pressing bits on a screen. That bell icon, there's no fee, there's no monetary attachment to it. It just means that you'll get a notification that we've put out a new video, and it helps us by increasing our number of people attached to our page, and means that we can circulate these amongst more people in the YouTube world. So we appreciate you hitting that bell icon, and it does help us. That's it for this one, and as always, I will see you at the next one.
Postcards from Mars, they hit my door. Tiny aliens asking for more. Writing comments like a cosmic tour.